blow in her face and she'll follow you anywhere.
You are destroying the Constitution of the United States. May God have mercy on your souls.
Good day.
Yes.
Sir, say. Good day.
We could be saved if we just elected the right white man to power.
That's creepy, but that's in a different category of creepy.
Zit-zoo, zit-zoo, zit-zoo.
Gary Gygax. Of course he introduced zoning laws.
Okay.
You know what? Don't.
Yeah.
The less I have to do with that game, the better.
Here's my favorite part of the defense. Claudius was probably fucking his sister.
Jughead, not Jarhead. I have nothing against Marines. I want to make that very clear. I'd be really interested to find out what fucking truth that woman was trying to get at.
Like with most episodes, I can bring it back to wrestling. Oh. Right, well, he's got other people who work for him who also do things, and they can transmutate human size into smaller worlds, after all.
Fuck you.
I still don't give a shit about getting fake property in a fantasy game. Geek History of Time,
where we connect nerdery to the real world. My name is Ed Blaylock. I'm a world history teacher with a side of English, in this case remedial reading, up here in Northern California, doing all of that over the interwebs. And I have just recently actually gotten back into painting, assembling and painting Warhammer 40k figures. The new 9th edition of the game has come out. I'm very excited about it. And yeah, I now actually kind of feel like with the direction, hopefully, knock wood, things are going in the world, I can feel comfortable going into a religio-fascist fantasy world to relieve my stress without feeling guilty about doing it, because the actual world is turning into a religio-fascist state. So that's where I am right now. Who are you, sir?
Well, I'm Damian Harmony. I'm a Latin teacher up here in Northern California, and no sides of anything. And I, in my spare time, yell at school boards. That seems to be
because there's a lot of that needs doing right now.
And have board will travel, apparently, because I spent my entire day yesterday either in a meeting or teaching, or in a meeting, a union meeting, or at a school board shaming people. So it's been fun. So I don't paint so much as I yell at school boards. So
well, you paint pictures with words.
I do.
You paint word pictures.
Yeah.
You paint word pictures full of many shades of furious red.
Yeah, rage haiku, I think is. Oh, I kind of now want to make rage haiku. Like I want to make that.
Yeah,
thing.
kind of do. Fuck you.
Goddamn son of a bitch. Yeah.
You motherfucker.
The fucking thing still doesn't work.
I don't know. Yeah.
Should have bought another.
Yeah.
So speaking of fascist, we were talking about Batman.
Yeah.
And
wow, just gonna go right into the paint.
Yes.
Yes, we now have been talking about Batman for I don't even know anymore how many episodes.
Seven so far.
7. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So.
But yeah, we had gotten to the point where we had gotten to the point of analyzing the 89 Batman film,
yes.
Keaton 1.
Yes. And now we're in the Michael Keaton 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the 92 Batman. Yeah. What were you going to say?
Okay. Well, no. Pick up. Keep going. I'll the thought got lonely and left. So when it shows back up, I'll jump in with it.
All right.
Oh, that's what it was. Sorry, it showed back up.
If you all could have seen the screen, also, I was leaning in, about to start, and he's like, "Oh, the thought." I was like, "Okay, backing up."
There it is. Yeah. I think while we're talking about it being the Keaton Batman, and I know we talked a little bit about it last time as well, but I kind of want to pick back up with it for a minute.
Sure.
Both of these movies are also Tim Burton films.
Yes.
And like this is kind of where Tim Burton became Tim Burton.
I would say this is where the studios recognized him as a huge draw, but I would say that Tim Burton became Tim Burton during Beetlejuice.
Okay, I can see that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But they recognized him as a huge draw at this point. Yes.
Yeah, and I think his artistic sensibility
Mm-hmm.
was definitely on display in Beetlejuice, definitely. But I think in Batman, there's the trope originator and then there's the trope codifier.
Definitely. It was a proven quantity then.
I think Batman is really where it was. No. This is his aesthetic, and like it became recognized as a quantity.
Yes, I would definitely agree. It's kind of like when Tom Hanks, like everybody's like, "Oh my God, Tom Hanks is Philadelphia was the movie he came out in." I'm like, no, he came out really big in League of Their Own, showing a lot of range, and that's what opened the door for that. I think you're right. Beetlejuice showed he had a style that he was doing, and then through Batman, it was, that is his style. Okay, that's not just tied to that script.
That was that movie. This is his aesthetic.
Yes.
And I think it's really interesting to see visually his take on the visuals of Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Because we talked a little bit about the costume in that film being as powerful and as immediately iconic and as much of a departure as it was.
Yeah.
But it's not just the Batman costume. It's
the whole thing.
The lighting. It's the lighting and the angles. And, and I know as I'm talking about it now, I remember it got mentioned that, Wayne Manor in those films is this heroic scale edifice.
Yes.
That the entire place is entirely out of scale with human habitation.
Yeah, that's a really good way to put it. Yeah.
And it's kind of like the Castle of Coucy in France, and I'm probably mispronouncing the French name. But if you read A Distant Mirror, it focuses on the noble family that ruled that particular manor as a window into the 14th century. And one of the things that gets mentioned is that when Ile de Coucy or Chateau de Coucy was built, it was built on a heroic scale. Like it was intentionally
Sure.
All of the stairs here, and it's not just the old trick about we've got a half step here to trip attackers up.
Right.
It was everything in the place was built at a
grander
giant
scale,
kind of scale,
yeah,
a
look
grander
what we can
scale. Do. Yeah, and so Wayne Manor comes across in that way, and the lighting and all of the coloration and everything, it goes from really super saturated on certain colors to flat and unsaturated in other parts of the spectrum.
So real quick, I want to come back to this Ile de Coucy. Chateau de Coucy. It's a French castle essentially.
Yes.
And if I recall correctly, the family that built it had previously been. They came up from obscurity because they were executioners, and they worked specifically for the Frankish kings, and so they were the punishers, and that's why they built their Frank castle.
Nicely done.
Thank you.
Nicely done. We're not even 10 minutes in.
Nope.
At this point.
Nope.
Well done.
Thank you.
Well done.
So, saturated colors. Go on.
Yeah, so there are certain parts of the spectrum that are like hypersaturated, and part of this is in my memory.
Okay.
So I could be partially wrong about this. But colder shades, like throughout the entire film, colder shades are very heavily saturated. And any kind of warm yellow, any kind of warm red, Like if it's a hellish red, yeah, okay, we're going to saturate that one. But warm crimson kind of tones,
Right.
we don't see getting that same kind of effect. And so we wind up having this very, very skewed. It's like taking a comic book and I'm going to fuck with the color shift. And yeah, just that aesthetic.
Well,
It was something that subconsciously, really, really hyper inflated is the word that comes to mind, but really emphasized the comic book roots of the material.
Yeah, well, if you remember, I talked about the cinematography, and the whole point was to show how tormented Bruce Wayne himself was. And that was kind of the first real time that you see Bruce Wayne as the central character of a Batman movie. And that was, in many ways, Tim Burton's biggest contribution to it. Yes, you had the send-up of Metropolis, but much worse. I think I said it looked like Picasso fucked German Expressionism.
I don't remember whether or not you did say that, but I think that's really fitting. Yes.
But like they chose it to be deliberately ugly and in torment with itself. So when you do a color shift like that, it's definitely there to make people feel a little bit off. So absolutely right. And that continues actually with the 92 one, which I dubbed the other Burton one and the other Keaton one. It's Batman Returns.
Sadly, it is kind of an also-ran by comparison.
Well, it's because it's the second one, So you can't all be Godfather Part 2 or Empire Strikes Back. So Bill Finger still didn't get any credit.
Nope.
Despite the fact that the two characters in this one are specifically his creation, the two villains. Now, the main idea behind this one isn't so much a focus on one villain or even the villain itself or on Bruce Wayne. It's really the focus is now on the mundane villain. So it kind of gets back to what you talked about when we talked about the 30s and 40s, where it's not super villains, it's mundane villains. It's gangsters.
It's mobsters, corrupt politicians, bad cops.
And in this case, it's Max Schreck, which is a total send up of the guy who played Count Orloff, who's from Nosferatu, and so you've got more German expressionism in there. But his name is Max Schreck. Yeah.
Fuck me! How did I never spot that before? God damn it!
Oh, it gets better. Like Max Schreck is
played by the way by I had Christopher Walken.
There you go.
In one of his most wonderfully understatedly batshit roles.
Yes, like it's right up there with Zorn. From
yeah, it really is.
So so they're taking the name Max Schreck from Count Orloff. And he's actually the only villain who has a plan. Everybody else is kind of activated. He's kind of behind the scenes. So he's even manipulating or trying to manipulate. And then, the host becomes the parasite or the parasite becomes the host. He's trying to manipulate the supervillain to his own gain. He's a robber baron from the 1800s, basically. And he dresses like they took pictures of J.P. Morgan and said, make him look like that.
I can totally believe that. And I would pull away from robber baron and I would say he is a Gilded Age industrialist.
Yes. And he is essentially a German expressionistic combination with political cartoons of people taking graft. Like that's,
That's straight out of a Nast cartoon. Yeah.
So
Tammany Hall.
Yeah. So here's some fun facts. Michelle Pfeiffer was not the original Catwoman. The original Catwoman was Annette Bening.
What?
Yeah, because Annette Bening was in Grifters, and Tim Burton was like, I got to have her in here. But she got pregnant. So she dropped out.
Oh. Mm-hmm. That would have been an entirely different fucking movie.
Yes.
That would have been like...
Mm-hmm.
And you know, and the funny thing is, this is one of those cases where, you know, this person wasn't supposed to play this role, but like
They were supposed to play
imagine,
this role. Yeah.
You can't imagine anybody else
Uh-huh.
doing it.
So Pfeiffer was kind of the second choice. She beat out a bunch of other women for the role, and she was given a percentage at the box office, which I thought was pretty cool.
No shit, really?
Yeah. Jack Nicholson kicked that door open, man.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Who was it? What actress was it who made a huge big deal about I need to be Catwoman? I am, like, went on a couple of talk shows in a Catwoman getup.
You mean at that time?
Remember. Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember anything like that.
Because I remember. Hold on a second.
I would love it if it was Cher.
No, it wasn't. that would have been.
Well, while you're trying
amazing.
to stretch your mind to figure that out, guess who played Oswald Cobblepot's dad?
Oh, wasn't it Burton himself?
No,
it was Pee Wee Herman.
Yes, nice job.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
I would not have guessed that if you would like put a gun to my head and like kicked me.
Oh, so, no, because I remember my you know, best friend and I seeing the movie in the theater.
Mm-hmm.
We were both like, wait, no, that can't. And then at the end of the film, we were like, oh my god, it's actually him. Yeah,
So okay, so this time Bruce Wayne is actually trying to pull someone else out of the darkness, which is a different. Okay. It's you know, you basically are mirroring what happened with Vicky Vale trying to pull him out of the darkness.
Yeah.
And he's really trying to pull himself and Catwoman out of the darkness. But first, I want to talk about Shrek a bit too.
Okay, yeah.
Batman, in many ways, is trying to pull him out of the darkness, but for a very different reason. He's not trying to redeem Shrek. He is trying to expose him and the Penguin as false idols. So there's your justice side of Batman. There's your Dark Avenger. Okay. Second, it is a redeeming story because he is trying to save Selina Kyle. I was going to say Katina Sile, but that doesn't work. Which, although Marvel should come up with a character named Katina Sile.
They should.
Yeah.
And that's actually the negative universe.
Yes.
Selina Kyle.
Yeah. Or they could do Selina Sile, like Slade Wilson and Wade Wilson.
There you go. I like that.
Yeah. So do you know who was going out campaigning for the Bat?
No, I'm having trouble finding it. Somebody's going to have to tell us. Because I remember it was somebody who had a reputation for being kind of nuts.
Okay.
And the whole campaign did not help that.
Was it Madonna?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. It was.
Was it Drew Barrymore? I'm going through people who are nuts. Okay.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
It's, you know, I'm going to, after we finish recording tonight, I'm going to go to bed and I'm going to sit bolt upright at like 3 a.m. and go, oh my God, it was, you know, because it's like right there in like floating on the edge of the speech center of my frontal cortex. And I just can't get it to come out.
Yeah.
So anyway, keep going.
Okay. So Bruce Wayne is a redeemer. So the first one is Batman the Avenger, or I'm sorry, this movie is 2 parts. One part, Batman the Avenger, the other part, Bruce Wayne the Redeemer. He even stops Batmaning in order to try to save her, literally tearing his mask off. Bruce Wayne is fully engaging himself in order to save Selina Kyle from her double life. And it's a nice sequel arc, actually, to a man who couldn't engage last time unless he was behind the mask. So he's growing through this one. And that's one of the reasons I really like this one, because it pays off. A lot of the damage that he came with, he is now able to grow through.
Yeah, and it's really, I don't think it's another case of Keaton not getting enough credit for the acting he did in these movies, because I do remember, you know, clips, you know, in my memory. There are bits out of the film, and I remember, you know, his interactions with Catwoman, Selina Kyle, you know, and him managing to bring all of his patter, you know, all of his comedic, you know, all that same kind of sense of timing and the same energy, and bring it in a way that wasn't jokey.
Yes. Like, you know, he was suffering from disconnect as well.
Yeah.
But he was further along, and he was empathizing for her.
Yeah, and there were so many moments that were like genuinely funny,
Mm-hmm.
but never played for a joke.
Yeah, he brought a coaxing vulnerability as he was trying to pull Selena Kyle out of Catwoman.
Yeah, that's a really great way of putting it. Yeah.
And
again, like everybody looks at it as a 3-color comic book movie, and
they're right, but also
ghetto. Yeah.
But there's Bruce Wayne trying to make the world safe for Selena Kyle to come back. And in many ways,
how fucked up is that, man?
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. He's much more fully realized in this film. And what's fun is that he and she are realizing this at the Christmas masquerade ball, where Kyle and Wayne are the only two people, for once, not wearing masks.
I'm going to have to rewatch this fucking movie.
Yeah.
Because that's...
The implications are Jarrellian in their complexity.
Who gets the screenwriter credit on this one?
Good question. I don't recall.
Because that is genius.
Well, and that might not have been in the writing. That might have actually just been in the directing. Like, I want them without masks. But yeah, it's really quite something when you think about it, because at that point, think about this. Could it be that Wayne has become the disguise and that Kyle is the disguise because they're wearing their disguises to the masquerade ball? And then Batman and Catwoman are actually their more dominant personalities that they're now doing a Clark Kent version on? She even says this. Once they realize who each other are, she says, I guess I'm tired of wearing masks. Like, he realizes she's Catwoman and she realizes he's Batman, and she says, I guess I'm tired of wearing masks, where in fact she is not wearing a mask, and yet her real identity is now Catwoman, who is a masked character, and so she's disguised as Selena Kyle in broad daylight. Ed's head is shaking. Yeah.
Mind blown.
Yes. Screenplay was Daniel Waters. I don't know from him, but kudos. Right. Pour one out for Daniel Waters tonight, I tell you. You know,
well, I won't pour one out, but
your dad, John Waters, is really, really fun. So
I'll drink in his honor.
There you go.
Compromise on that.
Yeah, so there's just that bit about, I guess I'm tired of wearing masks, and it's what I really liked is that in the early 1990s, masks are an interesting entrance into the zeitgeist. If you think about other movies that came out, or miniseries, Phantom of the Opera came out in 1990 as a miniseries. Silence of the Lambs, speaking of masks.
Oh yeah, okay.
Point Break.
Oh, shit.
Star Trek 6. The assassin had a mask. It's about the future, right?
Yeah, okay.
All of their major plot points involve some sort of mask to hide their true identity. And a number of documentaries came out popularizing the use of Native American people's masks, too, including something called The Spirit of the Mask. Star Trek would come out with an episode in 1994 titled Masks. And it was really confusing. Jim Carrey's movie, The Mask, debuted in 94. Like, the early 90s were all about goddamn masks. Okay. And it was a therapeutic technique, by the way, in talkie therapy. I know, having been thrown into it, you had to draw your mask. And it's like, Jesus Christ. When I was in drama class in high school, we made masks. Mummenschanz was shown to us. So much masky stuff in the 90s.
Okay, so why? What?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, because I mean, we can spitball about shit.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's what we do on this podcast. Let's be real. But so if we're talking about the early 90s, we're talking about basically the ending of the Reagan era.
Yes.
Because that's the end of Bush 1's.
Well, so you've got the end of
term.
You've got the end of the Cold War. You've got the falling and the crumbling of the Soviet Union and
Okay.
the I'm going in reverse order. You've got the crumbling of the Berlin Wall, the Baltic states, Baltic states, and the Soviet
Baltic
Union.
and Balkan.
Yeah. Well, I'm talking about the Baltic though. Lithuania, Estonia, and Latvia.
Yeah. Breakaway republics.
Right. So you've got that. So they are no longer underneath that brand, and I'm wondering if there's a need to cover up. And also then if America has won, which spoiler alert, they didn't, because we just had 4 years of proof. But if America has won, then what can they do next? What happens to all those anxieties? And so now you kind of have to cover up those anxieties with something else, maybe. I don't know. I am spitballing here.
Let me spitball in a different direction.
Sure.
We see revelation of a lot of things. So by 92, we knew that the Reagan administration and the Bush administration had been funneling money to all kinds of nasty places in the name of the Cold War.
Yes.
By 92 and later, the Soviet Union had fallen apart, and we now saw really what had been going on in the Soviet states, which was basically we spent them into oblivion and they couldn't keep up with us anymore. And in the process of getting there, they had turned their own economy into, a sick man. What we had been led to believe during our childhood was this terrifying monolithic threat. Turns out not really to have been one at all.
Right.
And so, on these, again, pattern on the wallpaper kind of ways, we see the revelation of identities, and we saw masks kind of being pulled away.
We see also a bunch of dictatorships. Oh, go on.
So it just means that we were aware suddenly that there had been masks.
Mm-hmm. That could be. We also see
previously aware.
We see dictatorships falling too in South America. Pinochet falls in 90. Brazil's military dictatorship had fallen in 85, I want to say. I don't remember Argentina off the top of my head.
Don't cry over it.
I'm not remembering.
Truth is, they never left.
We're seeing that to be proven, though. So,
yeah.
Because there was the coup in '76, and I'm just trying to think of how long they lasted. I think. Oh no, they went back to they kicked out their dictatorship quick. They stopped in '83.
Yeah,
so.
And okay, wait, hold on. Kicked out their dictator. You're talking about Argentina?
Yes.
Kicked out the dictator in '83. Falklands was '82. 2?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Those poor penguins.
No, it had to be later than that because I was in Hawaii during Falklands.
Oh, okay.
So Falklands was '83.
Okay.
But anyway.
So some dictatorships
and actually losing the Falklands was the last gasp, I think, of that regime. So,
yes.
So in any event, I think we could go either way on that, or both ways, for that matter.
Yeah.
Because stuff happening in the mass subconscious doesn't necessarily have to be entirely consistently logical in one direction at a time.
Right. And I would point out that both of these characters had a mask of similar design, covered everything except for their face, or except for their mouths.
This is true.
Which I will get to that when I get to the Nolan Batmans, because there's a very important thing there. But I do want to put a pin in that. So
okay, we're that is tabled.
Yes,
we'll keep track of that. Okay.
So the villains that he's fighting this time are less about chaos and violence and more about power and the exploitation of our democratic processes. So with Joker, it was chaos. Every time Joker shows up, he's fighting chaos. He's bringing order. When it's Penguin, he's fighting corruption because he's fighting the credulity of Gotham for Gotham's own good, not just fighting against Gotham's criminal element, but fighting against their sheepishness. Because again, who is running for mayor?
Cobblepot, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's got his own little design on that. You know, if he runs for mayor,
Yeah.
then he can look up, you know, and steal and reverse Moses things. He starts off, by the way, he starts off in a river, and now he wants to come back and kill everybody's firstborn. Like, it's pretty goddamn clear. But, and who's backing him the whole way is the rich industrialist.
Yeah.
Now, again, that is also, I would say, a bit of a send-up of 1992 politics.
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Because this would have been written in 91. So, you know, it's kind of pointing out, hey, Lee Iacocca was there on the top of the White House a while back, you know, helping him destroy the solar panels.
Yeah.
God, I watched the RoboCop the other day. I don't remember why I decided to. Yes, and Paul,
the original.
We're gonna have to do a whole episode on Paul Verhoeven's idea of satire.
Yeah.
Because, just
because he doesn't do it very well.
Well, he's not subtle, and the problem is we're so base as a culture that we like it. And I will tell you this story. My father and I, so father, not dad, father, bio father. I was made to visit him when I went to visit my grandparents. And so I spent an evening with him, and we rented RoboCop. And he was on the edge of his seat just screaming, "Go Robo! Go Robo!" And it's like, even then, it seemed a little off to me. But watching it now, I'm like, oh, wow. This violence is supposed to be... It's kind of the Warhammer 40K thing. You know, this violence is supposed to be over the top and ridiculous.
Yeah, grievously over the top.
And you're over here cheering it, dude, like it's supposed to be this way. Like, damn. So.
Yeah, well, you know. Yeah.
So anyway, he's so back to this. So Batman is localizing his fight on rescue, not vengeance. Whereas in the first one, he's centered it on vengeance. Oh yeah.
Yeah, payback in a big way.
Now, Bruce Wayne is still tortured by his double life, and he's jumping into a literal Iron Maiden to get down to the Batcave now.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Like this movie is symbolism 101. Like if this movie is not shown in film classes, but he's also managed to integrate both parts of himself much more fully, and he's able to actually offer intimacy and peace to a person and not just react to their attraction to him.
Here's what just occurred to me hearing you talking about it. So Batman is, by one definition, the most actualized motherfucker in the world.
In this movie, yes.
Well, hold on.
Okay,
in any interpretation of the character.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yes.
He is hyper competent. He, if he needed to learn it, he went out and he learned it. He figured it out. Master of at least 2 or 3 forms of martial arts.
Right.
Best, greatest detective in the world. Forensic scientist, like you name it, he figured it out.
Yes.
And so on that level, he's immensely like hyper actualized. But in the first in the first Keaton movie, we see that he's like mechanically actualized, but emotionally he's a cripple.
Yes.
And in this film, we actually see him becoming truly emotionally actualized, along with all of his wonderful toys. And yeah, shit, I'm gonna need to go back and watch that movie because
I think taking them as a pair is a really good idea because of the arc that Burton and Keaton draw together on this character.
Yeah, no, you make a compelling case for that, definitely.
Yeah. So he is in this one again fighting against. He's fighting to rescue someone's soul, and that someone is Gotham. He's saving them from themselves, and yes, at the same time, also Selina Kyle. Whereas in the previous one, he's fighting to yes, and he's fighting, and I think it's macro too. Because ultimately it's macro because he is fighting to save his soul. In so doing, he's fighting to save Selina's soul, and in so doing, he's fighting to save Gotham's soul. He needs to save all 3 from themselves.
Man, that's a lot of shit to get done.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
So yes, he's tortured. He jumps into an Iron Maiden. And like I said, he
I had completely forgotten that
yeah,
detail.
me
and now
too.
I can't
Me
get
too.
it-
And as I was
and
doing the
now
research, I
can't
was
get
like,
it out
oh
of my
shit.
head.
So in the first Keaton Burton movie, he was the broken one, right? And he was fighting a broken person whose main approach was nihilism.
Oh yeah.
So here's where it gets, again, twisted around a couple different times. Batman is fighting the Joker, who Batman shattered. And the Joker, in turn, had previously shattered Bruce Wayne's life. And it was that nihilism, and then the response to nihilism, and then the conflict, and then that response, and then it's just this nihilistic clusterfuck circle jerk. And,
yeah.
And yeah.
You point that out, and there's a part of me that wonders what would have happened if we had seen and now I'm forgetting his name, but the director of Conan the Barbarian.
Oh, John Milius?
John Milius. If we'd seen John Milius work the same story, there would have been some, Thulsa Doom moment.
Yes.
I made you.
Yes. Well, there was that moment. He said that. He says, I made you. He's like, you made me. I made you. Or no, you made me. He said, you idiot. You made me. And he's like, I made you. You made me. And then he's like, well, if you're gonna, and then he tries to sucker punch him and hits the armor and all that. And
yeah.
So. Yeah. But, okay, so in the first one, it's a shattered man. He's a broken man fighting a shattered man who had previously broken his life. And whose life he had previously broken as well. Like, there's both of them, like, double dipping.
Yeah.
In the second one, Bruce Wayne is, again, Bruce Wayne, not Batman, but Bruce Wayne is the most together of the heroes and the villains. And he's fighting one of them on their own behalf, and he's fighting two of them on behalf of the people of Gotham.
Okay.
So it's a hell of an arc. So it's no longer about depression. It's about redemption and rescue.
Recovery.
Oh, there it is. Yeah. So that's the 92 one. And again, psychotherapy was kind of a big deal. Yeah. So then, now, and that is going to dovetail nicely into the 1995 one, Batman Forever. This is called the really 1990s one.
Batman Extreme.
Yes, the Val Kilmer one, the Joel Schumacher one. And this one is like, you know what? You know what worked really well? Camp. We're going to return to camp in a big way because Two-Face and Riddler are just chewing through the scenery in neon colors and purples and greens because it's the 90s.
And let's talk about color saturation.
Oh yeah.
Like Jesus. So I need to vent here for a second.
Sure.
All right, so you're gonna make a Batman movie, right?
Uh-huh.
And you decide that one of the villains you're gonna do is Harvey Dent, Two-Face. Right?
Yes.
Classic character, has a great villain arc. Just an amazing character. And then you cast Tommy Lee Jones to be Two-Face, to play Harvey Dent, both sides of Harvey Dent.
Yes.
Okay. Well,
except it's not Harvey Dent. At this point, it's the absolute Two-Face. There's no origin story or anything.
Yeah. No,
like they have two lines on it, and that's it. He is
he is
comic book
Two-Face.
villain. Yeah.
Okay. So, but hear me out here. So you decide you're going to cast Tommy Lee Jones, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who is an amazing actor.
Yes.
And if you had just had him, you could have had, no shit, the most amazing portrayal of Two-Face.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have absolutely no doubt in my mind at all that left to his own devices, Tommy Lee Jones could have owned that role the way Nicholson owned the Joker.
I agree.
So, all right, so far so good. Then you decide, okay, well, we're not just going to have one villain because that's not enough. We got to have more than one villain. So we're gonna go with Edward Nygma.
Well, hang on. The previous movie had two villains. So
No, I know.
Yeah,
I
you've got
understand.
that. Okay.
I
Yeah, yeah.
understand. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, we got.
So
we
to
got,
go back to
we're
one
following.
is you've got a trajectory.
So we got to we got to at least go with two villains because we can't go down to one because that's like lowering the stakes, even though it didn't have to be. But whatever. From a production angle, it just looks like you are. So okay, so we got to have two villains.
Mm-hmm.
So who are we going to use as the other villain? Okay, well we've got we're gonna go with the classic. We're gonna go with the Riddler.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
awesome. Who are you going to cast as the Riddler?
It is 95.
I know. I understand. Yeah. Jim Carrey. Okay, so here's the deal. By himself playing the Riddler, Jim Carrey could have been absolutely balls to the wall, fucking amazing. Like
our version of Frank Gorshin.
Oh yeah. In a huge way. Yeah, it could have been amazing. Here's the deal: you put him next to Tommy Lee Jones, and you have Schumacher direct the fucking thing, and everything winds up being bigger.
Yeah.
And then you have now pushed. And I'm not even going to start with the one that makes me angriest. I'm going to go with the other one. You've now pushed Jim Carrey into pet detective territory.
Yeah.
Because bigger means, okay, well, that's the direction I'm going to go. And, of course, he's comfortable doing that, and he can pull that shtick.
Yep.
But you're underutilizing him.
Yeah, because you're only asking for him to crash the cymbals when, in fact, he can play amazing drums.
Yeah. And you're expecting him to only do things in the loudest register possible, which by itself is a tragic underutilization of a guy who turns out to be a really amazingly empathetic actor.
Yeah.
And then, and this is the part that I'm still bitter about years later.
All right.
Put him literally on the screen at the same time as Tommy Lee Jones, who is not that kind of actor, and force Tommy Lee Jones to play everything broad. Like, why did you cast Tommy Lee fucking Jones in the first place? The man's whole toolbox is centered on understatement. Is centered on, he isn't Pacino. He doesn't scream. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, neither did Pacino until Son of a Woman. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, but you get what I'm saying.
Yes.
Like that turned into a shtick. He kind of self flanderized himself.
Yes.
But like both of those actors were so completely, in one case, completely underutilized because Schumacher told Carrey, go big. And that's it. Just go big and keep going bigger. And then you force Tommy Lee Jones to be a shouting, scenery-chewing, glowering mega villain when, like, you could have had such a much better Two-Face.
Well, I'm gonna push back a little bit on the Tommy Lee Jones thing, because in '92 he was in Under Siege and he played that villain who was the Roadrunner, and he was goofy and crazy. He was like an ex-hippie who could fight really well with knives until he saw what's-his-face.
Yeah.
And in 93, he was a badass in The Fugitive, which is what you're talking about. The, I don't care is just an iconic line, and it's so understated. But then he played a mad bomber in Blown Away in 93 as well, an Irish mad bomber. Oh, your wife and daughter are home, and he's kind of crazy. And then in '94, he was in Natural Born Killers, and he was the warden, and whose hair looked like a goddamn Studebaker, and he had a pencil thin mustache, and he was a caricature of all that shit. He was doing those kinds of roles leading into '95. He absolutely was. So I could see casting him in that role, in that effort at that role. That makes sense to me. You shouldn't have done that character as that way, maybe. But they're going camp.
Well, okay. One, they shouldn't have taken that character in that direction. Number two, I'm going to argue that as much as he may have enjoyed doing Under Siege, I saw that shit opening weekend in the theater.
I'm sorry, you just lost all credibility.
Well, I went with a bunch of friends who were like, dude, it's a Seagal movie.
Sure.
And the title only has 2 words rather than 3. Maybe this one will be good.
Point.
No.
Good point. Nope.
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 Nope. Nope. Nope. The only part of that movie that's worth rewatching is Erica Leniak coming out of the cake. Like, that's it.
No,
Like,
I would say Gary Busey sitting there going, do I look like I'm mentally deranged, in full drag? Just because it was definitely foreboding. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Yeah. I don't know if it was even foreshadowing. Like, but was that before or after Gary Busey smacked himself on the pavement?
I do believe that was before, but I don't recall.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because one wonders. But anyway.
Yeah.
So, and anyway, I have very strong opinions about the casting and directorial choices.
Well,
it's not really about the casting; it's about the directorial choices.
You're going to have a lot to chew on here. So, so Two-Face and Riddler, like you said, going broadly, just being the Baxter Stockman little droids chewing through the scenery, the way the Mousers would chase after Shredder. There's also a new guy playing Batman for the first time. Okay, so Keaton owned that role, and now you've got a new guy playing Batman, and you've introduced Robin as well. Now, Val Kilmer plays Batman.
Yes.
And I have always had a soft spot in my heart for Val Kilmer. Nicole Kidman plays Dr. Chase Meridian.
Hot.
Get it? Chase Meridian.
Chase Meridian.
She's pursuing balance.
Yeah. Oh.
And the villain is Two-Face, and Batman lives a double life.
Okay.
And now he's got a child to take care of.
So some anvils need to be dropped. We're
hard,
saying here.
Yeah. Also, she is also a character who's created specifically for the movie. So we see this happening again.
This is true.
Now, speaking of balance, I just want to back up a second. It always felt to me like the lighting and the color choices that they made in that movie specifically were a cinematic version of when I was in high school, Mountain Dew was wonderful, right? And so was Dr. Pepper, and so was eggnog. And then we combined Mountain Dew with eggnog, and then we combined Mountain Dew with Dr. Pepper, and then we combined Mountain Dew with Dr. Pepper and eggnog, and then we had chugging contests to see who could swallow a quart of Dr. Dewnog in the shortest amount of time possible. Because our friend had gotten it to the point where he could swallow a quart of eggnog in 4 seconds. And that became a game at our rallies at our high school from then on. And so Mountain Dew, like, I get it if it's not your thing, but plenty of people like Mountain Dew. Plenty of people like Dr. Pepper.
Oh, yeah, plenty of people.
Plenty of people like eggnog. If you combine them together, their color is gross as shit and they taste terrible. That's exactly what happened to all the colors in this movie. This movie is Dr. Dewnog.
You know what? That's going to have to become code on on this podcast going forward. That is Dr. Dewnog.
That is Dr. Dewnog. All right.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, that's what, anytime I want to use the phrase a dog's breakfast, instead I'm going to force myself to say Dr. Dewnog. Because dear God almighty, I cannot imagine anything that vomitous. Like,
right?
Oh,
it's gross. It was so bad that when you drank it, you laughed. Like, that's how bad it was. I shit you not. My best friend at the time, he drank it. Eli. If he ever listens to it, shout out to Eli for the Dr. Dewnog. He drank it and just started laughing. It was that bad. So, but yeah. Yeah. You know what? It is getting to be that season of the year. I might actually. I'm 42 now. Let's see. We were doing that when I was like 16.
Don't do it. So don't. It's not worth it. Don't do it. Don't do it. It'll hurt you.
Yeah, it probably will.
At our age, you do not know.
Yeah, but I'm kind of hoping like it'll hurt me in the way that like a bad samosa will hurt me. Like I'll lose weight that night, you know? Because that's what I love about a samosa is like if it's good, it's great, and if it's bad, it still tastes great, and I lose weight. Like it's. So art direction.
clearly there was some
Yes. And
choices were made.
it was a very 1990s-ification of prior efforts. So they took the prior stuff and then they neoned it, right? There's a lot of purple, a lot of green, which is very comic books because bad guys are secondary colors.
Well, yeah.
There's a fair amount of turquoise because it's the 90s.
I'm going with Batman Extreme.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That was for whatever reason. I would really like to know where it was that whole
the extreme
aesthetic,
movement.
that whole extremist.
It was, you know what it was? It was an outgrowth of the use of neon colors that we saw in the 80s. So it was just the next step, really, because neon for its own sake really came in the 80s. And then as you get into the 90s, you start to see different color palettes getting mixed together that, again, it's, and they're all coming back now because girls are raiding their moms' closets, and moms are, I have a theory about this. Moms are perpetually much more optimistic about their clothing from their childhood than dads. Dads are like, no, fuck it. My ass is a FedEx truck now. Like, I'm not saving those jeans. Whereas moms will be like, someday I could get back to, my prom weight. And so the daughters go through their mom's closets and check stuff out for like homecoming rallies and stuff like that. And then you see, because every 20 years you see a reintroduction of similar styles, and it's because the daughters are raiding their mom's closets and coming back. So, because look at what's coming in now, booty shorts and high rise. And they take their own flair now, but that's what's coming in. And I started seeing kids showing up with overalls again. Yeah, that was a thing.
See, I'm teaching middle school, so it's a whole different kind of thing. Because the deal is, like, I'm looking at kids who I'm comparing to me in the 7th and 8th grade.
Yeah, but you're between generations. These kids have parents that are roughly my age or a little younger.
Okay.
Because I got started late.
Well, I got started like
very
hyper late,
yes.
But
and you're much older than I. So
fuck you much. What is this? 3 years? Screw you. We're still both Gen Xers. Don't be adding me about this stuff.
So
come on.
So so the kids who are coming of age.
Is it warm under the bridge?
I'm just trying to get you, goat.
Well done.
Yeah,
well done. Well,
yeah.
I ain't even mad.
You were a little gruff. You were.
A little.
Yeah.
I usually am. So anyway, carry on.
All right.
Girls are raiding mom's closets.
Sorry, did I hurt your leg? Nah, knee. Okay.
Oh. Good day, sir.
There you go. So yes, girls are raiding their mom's closets, and they're styling them in different ways, because now we're starting to see kids showing off their midriffs in the high schools again. They're doing it by tying knots on their shirts. That's the thing. But and that, if you go back to when I was in high school, midriffs were showing because they were stealing their mom's low-rise jeans. And so, you had that aesthetic.
Shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, they're stealing their mom's high-rise jeans, and then they were wearing midriff shirts, and then the waistlands started getting lower because they were stealing the low-rises. And then you had like that gap increased in the early 2000s. So what's going to suck is in about 10 years, we're going to see the 2000s come back stylistically. Which is cool because I still have cargo shorts, and I'm looking forward to buying more zip-off pants.
Okay. I'm gonna hold on.
Sure.
I'm gonna stop you right there. We're now both in a phase of life where cargo shorts are eternal.
Oh, I've never left that phase. As soon as I found that aesthetic, I'm done.
Screw that.
No, because and it's because I want to carry stuff.
Well, yeah.
That's it. It's the pockets, and I get made fun of all the time, and I don't give a shit.
Like, who cares? Whatever, man. It's comfortable. Like, no, and like, you want to send a signal you're a dad?
Yes. And I do want to send that signal.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, there's no clearer way of saying to everybody, no, I'm a dad.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Yeah.
I mean, in my case, I sometimes don't like right now. Of course, I'm wearing jeans because it's freezing fucking cold. But when it is shorts weather, I tend to wear a kilt more often because I think I look better in that.
Sure.
But but yeah, no, this summer it was an awful lot of cargo shorts
Oh, yeah.
because I wasn't going anywhere to show off the kilt. So what the hell?
Yeah. So
But anyway,
the architecture. So you've got a ton of turquoise. You've got the architecture is way more contemporary and less metropolis-y. And I mean Metropolis, the movie, not the place that's not Gotham. The costumes included nipples and outsized cod pieces. Robin had an earring because it's the 90s. And there was a deliberate and conscious effort to make the costumes much more MTV aesthetic. A lot of rave scenes aesthetic stuff, too. Very, very mid-90s. Rave scene is a lot of black lights, a lot of turquoise, a lot of that. And at this point, Batman movies are getting to be like Bond girls. Which celebrity's going to be in the movie matters way more than the movie itself. Oh, and let's talk the music for a second. U2 and Seal. How much more 90s can you get?
I had forgotten about U2.
Yes.
I mean, I can't, like, Seal.
Hold me, kill me, kiss me, thrill me. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, this time, Batman is not fighting his identity. He's got that shit locked down. He is, however, dealing with a young man bent on revenge. So he's counseling a kid through what he went through, and he's fighting the chaos of Two-Face and Riddler, who are obsessed with finding his secret identity, and they eventually succeed in destroying Wayne Manor.
Yes.
Riddler's device secretly steals people's information from their minds, but it's advertised as projecting TV broadcasts straight into people's minds, which, if you remember people's like hatred of MTV, it had to do with that. And I just would point out thoughts being inserted into brains.
Okay, hold on. Hold on.
Okay.
Because thoughts being inserted into brains reminds me of the TV series from the 80s. So it started in 87.
Oh, Hill Street Blues. Yeah.
Funny.
Oh,
funny.
sorry.
Well played. Now,
Cagney and Lacey. Yeah.
Do you remember Blipverts?
No.
Okay. Max Headroom.
Yes.
Okay.
And they hacked the signal.
Yeah.
They hacked the signal. Yes. That actually happened, and then that inspired Max Headroom.
Yeah. And the MacGuffin in the very opening in the pilot of Max Headroom was an advertiser who had figured out how to condense an advertisement into like a second and a half, to take a 30-second advertisement and turn it into a blipvert.
Oh wow.
That was only a second and a half long and flashed by so fast that the advertisement was essentially programmed into your brain subconsciously. What's the word I'm looking for? Subliminal.
Well, you want to know what other movie came out at the same time?
Huh.
Johnny Mnemonic.
Okay, well, there you go.
Yeah.
Also, visually, like way over the top.
Yep.
Based on a really, really great William Gibson short story. And not a really great adaptation. We could have a conversation about how great it is as its own thing, but yeah, similar kind of idea. Again, in that case, it's I have a wet drive in my brain that I can't access.
Right.
And somebody wants to get a hold of it.
But
and
it's
so
literally shit inserted into my brain.
Yeah.
And in 94, Natural Born Killers had come out, where it's talking about the influence of the media on serial killers and the youth. There's a lot of stuff going on. And so
this is also the height of where, social panic about video games, violent video games.
Yeah. So because Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter and all that. So, and then here's the thing. There's thoughts being inserted into people's brains. There's unwelcome intruders. And where do they go? They go to Batman's sanctuary and blow it up. Your home is not safe. It's being invaded. Now, this movie is nothing about Bruce Wayne anymore, except for the ham-fisted way to discuss memory and dreams and shit like that. And what's interesting is this one is all about dreams and suppressed memories, which absolutely makes sense because in 1993, the term false memory syndrome was coined. Which means that for a while,
as a result of what they had found out, what psychologists had found out from the aftermath of the satanic panic,
and
of
more
the 80s.
Yes. So there had been a lot of news and cultural awareness raising the idea of suppressed memories, especially in the aftermath, like you said, of satanic panic, but also in the examinations of a lot of large group child abuse and cult accusations that were finding a lot of those had been based on false memories, which is really unfortunate because plenty of people lost their livelihoods and years of their lives to incarceration.
Yeah.
Stuart, Florida is just such a place. Psychologists swarmed the town to help kids who'd recovered memories of satanic child abuse at a Montessori school. The more psychologists and police officers showed up, the more cases came up. And it turns out many of these therapists, in their zeal, in their desire to be part of something, had implanted false memories into hypnotized kids. And studies began as early as 1986 when psychologists started longevity studies in asking people about where they were when the Challenger had exploded. Flashbulb history. People's answers tended to change over time, getting more and more dramatic and more in line with the coherently and accepted popular narrative. And this is starting to happen with these kids. And it led to something called the memory wars, where people believed that memories could be repressed and others believed that false memories could be implanted. And they were arguing over some very important points. And since this absolutely impacts witness testimony, it's not an agree to disagree type of thing. So there are very few documented examples of actual repressed memories. Now, I'm somewhat sensitive to this because I had seen family members go through repressed memory therapy, and this is where you had things like past life regression therapy, and because your memory is so repressed that it goes into a past life and stuff like that. I mean, it's really quite something.
So hardcore woo.
Yeah, it is.
Certainly at the edges of it. That's heavy duty woo woo.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I say this as a church going Catholic, like.
Yeah, it's
like if I'm pointing to it, going like, dude.
Yeah, good point.
Wow.
Yeah, I would agree with you, especially in this instance because there's just so much damage that came about as a result of this. And this was basically what was in the air at that time. You might remember in 91, there was a movie called Dead Again. With Kenneth Branagh, and
his then wife.
Yes. Trelawney, oh Christ, what's her name? Emma Thompson?
Emma Thompson.
Yes. She's phenomenal.
Emma Thompson.
But yeah,
she's amazing. He shouldn't have left her.
Well,
she can do better.
Their relationship is not mine, but they are phenomenal actors. But he was in a movie that was all about past lives. And so you have these movies about repressed memories that are really coming to the fore. And that's in here, right? And that's in this movie. This movie is tagging on to that. Psychologist Elizabeth Loftus said that there's simply no evidence that people can create amnesia through sheer terror, and that all the examples that were compiled in the 90s could be explained in other ways, and often, she says, they're just false memories. And I went into a huge rabbit hole on that very topic, which left me kind of sad and wishing I drank. But because... You've got like a 4-year-old who is being interviewed by an authority figure, and they want to make that authority figure happy. And so the authority figure asks leading questions, and they mean well. And here's the thing, they mean well. They're trying to save these kids, and it's the road to hell is paved with good intentions in the worst kinds of ways. So Batman is tugging on what is in the zeitgeist, which is exactly what Batman always does. But now it's doing it while braiding it with camp. So you've got camp plus dreams and repressed memories, 90s pop music, and lots and lots of purple and green. And all of that gets braided together. How could it be anything but a wild success?
Yeah, about that. Here's the thing. I ultimately feel really badly for what this movie did to Val Kilmer's career.
Didn't he do Tombstone after this?
Was it after? Was it
No,
after
I think
this?
Tombstone came before it. You're right.
Yeah, Tombstone was before it. No,
Well, okay, this didn't sink his career so much as his own behavior on certain movie sets. Like, I love Val Kilmer, but
okay, all right, yeah, granted, but this didn't help anything.
No, well, he
Like-
came back for The Saint, and The Saint was really good.
The Saint was an amazing movie.
Yeah, and it was absolutely there to highlight his acting range because he's playing all these different characters.
Oh, Chameleon, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, he let's see, he did Tombstone and True Romance before this. He did Heat after this, but he did The Island of Dr. Moreau and Ghost in the Darkness, which is like an but he did The Saint, and people are like, oh wow, he's doing stuff. And they did The Prince of Egypt, which they loved that he was the voice of God and Moses.
Yeah.
And then he kind of did some rom-com type stuff, and then and they just basically they found that he wasn't the draw that they'd hoped he would be, quite honestly.
Yeah.
I loved him in Alexander. A lot of people have trouble with that movie, but he played a great Philip IV.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I have to confess I have not seen Alexander.
See, I liked it. It doesn't hang together well, but I liked it.
Okay. There's because I looked at it and I went, this is either going to be really awesome or it's going to be a complete shit show.
Yeah, it was.
And everything and everything I heard from everybody I knew who saw it was like, yeah, no, it's no.
I still liked it because it captured Alexander as being a out of control sot, and I liked that. So
okay,
yeah,
all right, I might have to give it a shot.
So that takes us to the 1997 Batman and Robin.
George Clooney.
Ah, the one that had Uma Thurman, the only redhead I've ever found attractive. Okay, that's not true. There's that other gal that I met when I was 15, and then like the night after we made out, Bart went on strike, proving that redheads should not couple in any way. Because also, no, I wasn't 15. I was 17, because that was the very next day people killed themselves for Hell's Gate, or Heaven's Gate rather. So again, proving redheads should not couple.
Just don't do it.
But Uma Thurman, it would be worth Bart going on strike again. This movie is so bad that there's zero trivia listed on IMDb for it. I've never seen that happen.
Okay, so that means it's not only really bad, it's really bad in a way that's not even, oh man, it's so bad it's good. Like, no, you got to watch this. You got to see. Yeah. You got to see how they fuck this up.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so this time we've got Batman, Robin, Batgirl, Poison Ivy, Bane, and Mr. Freeze. Because if one's a good idea, 6 is a great idea.
It's a great idea.
It's just like aspirin. Yeah.
Well, okay, here's the deal. So was this also Schumacher?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's the thing. You talk about Dr. Doonog.
Mm-hmm.
I would say
this, you added antifreeze to it. Because we need some green.
We need some green.
Look how it glows and sizzles.
Look how it's and it's got a tang to it. The burning sensation tells you it's working.
Right. Yeah.
No. What I was going to say is one of my drama coaches in high school, who is now a veteran drama teacher on her own. But one of the things that she talked about, that she complained about in set design from various and sundry other productions, because she would do this thing where she'd go to other schools in the district, and she would watch their dramatic productions, kind of like a football coach watches game footage from other schools. she would go and watch what other drama productions, what other drama departments were doing. And one of the things she consistently complained about was this one other head of a drama department at another school just has to get out there and go jacking off on stage.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I went and I remember seeing this film with a group of my friends.
Again, on opening night, probably.
No.
Oh,
this
good.
one was not opening night, thank God.
You know, that's worse, because then you heard reviews and you're like, no, I still have faith.
No, I don't think well, it wasn't opening night, but it was like the next day. It was opening weekend.
Okay.
But anyway, we went and saw it, and I remembering, there they are, just jacking off on stage.
Yep.
And ever since then, every time I've seen Schumacher's name, that's the only thing I've been able to think about.
Nice. So now this movie is totally like a Bond girl, because what star is going to be Batman is going to make the franchise, right? So it's way less about Batman the character. It's way less about, oh, here's an interesting take on him. It's way less about tone or anything else. It's full-on 1960s comic mode. Bright colors, as only the 90s can give us. Contemporary issues, eco-terrorism, taking down feminism, artificial intelligence, Batman universe equivalent of steroids, status bars on old Macs, merchandising out the wazoo, all of these things.
It was such a shit show.
Oh, God. And a lot of this movie's villains are focusing on using science to enhance or alter physical bodies. Do you remember Dolly the sheep? Do you remember BCE? Do you remember how much movement there was toward cloning in the late 90s?
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. Now, this iteration suffered from the fact that the franchise had started darkly, and now it was something completely different from its originator, and it came out less than a decade earlier.
It had become a cartoon of itself in a bad way.
Well, and because Warner Brothers essentially kept developing it so that they could get more toy commercial pricing, merchandising, all that kind of stuff.
Merchandising with the real money from the movie.
Exactly. Well, and that's exactly it.
Batman the flamethrower.
Right. How many different outfits can we get him into? And so, who cares about coherence and depth? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's absolutely that. At least in G.I. Joe, they'd give you a new character. But this is just, Ice Batman, Jungle Batman.
Like,
yeah.
Kind of in the same vein, thinking about the prior film, going back for a second to talk about Batman Forever.
Mm-hmm.
You went in that film, you didn't have, 6 different bat suits, but you did have the really dramatic. I was just looking at the Wikipedia page for the film, and on the poster, it's really remarkable how much the bat suit had obviously changed. Like the Burton iteration of the bat suit was this, black armored rubber thing, and the armored quality is still there, but it had become, in Batman Forever, it was this metallic blue. Like dark blue, the turquoise was all Robin, but it was this metallic dark blue thing with what really struck me were the fins.
I'm gonna say flanges that came off his gauntlets,
coming off his gauntlets, looking like something out of a science fiction serial from the 30s, looking very, very Buck Rogers, very swoopy.
Mm-hmm.
And then going from there into Batman and Robin.
Yep.
And even more Baroque.
Yeah.
Baroque. That's the best word I can think of for it. This Rococo, actually not even Baroque, Rococo kind of a aesthetic to all of that shit was like gonzo. Like nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
because it makes toys look cool.
Oh,
and you can do it with cheap plastic.
Mighty.
Yeah. So by this point, the production had become completely intruded onto. And it's the production is overtaking any possibility of a real theme of any kind on any internal level. There is no internal Batman anymore. There is no Bruce Wayne anymore. It's just this is all a vehicle to get to the next picture or the next set piece. Ultimately, Batman has become an empty vessel by this movie to attach to whatever toy accessory you want to.
Yeah.
And yes, there is a thing in there about trust. That is a bit of a theme about trust, which could be interesting when you're talking about people who are leading double lives together. Because there was some stuff about, you need to stop reaching your hand down to rescue me. You need to trust me that I can do this myself.
Well, yeah, there's that, obviously. And the thing is, there are moments, there are micro moments in that film that are elevated above the dross of the rest of it. But there's nowhere near enough of them to make
there's no coherence
the whole
to them.
Movie.
It's almost like they forgot to edit those parts out.
Sadly,
I mean,
yes.
they could have, there was a thing in there about what it takes to be a good mentor, which could have been interesting if you're talking about Batman and Robin in terms of passing the torch.
And there's a wonderful, honest to God, no kidding, other than the first time Alicia Silverstone shows up in the Batgirl suit, which I love for entirely different reasons. There's a throwaway line where Bruce Wayne says, "Now I know why Superman works alone."
Yes.
And that one moment is like, okay, tell you what, how about we take that line, which says so much in so few words, and we build on that and we do something with that. But no.
They could even touch on
out the window.
They could even touch on what makes family, because Alfred and Barbara and Batman and Robin and all that. No, there's so much that they could have done, but instead they're like, okay, now this lesson was easily learned and it's not really there anymore, so let's go.
So let's just keep wanking off on screen.
Yeah, to make money, to churn out more toys. So in many ways, Schumacher made this movie as a return to the 60s campy Batman movie. He did. There were a ton of one-liners. And I'm cool with that. I'm okay with, well, of course I'm cool with one-liners, but I'm okay with a director's choice to go back to something else, because what are you going to do with Grit? There's a lot of low stakes.
Point, you can't.
There's a lot of low stakes combat. There's even a send up to the holy whatever Batman, because in the beginning he said they're climbing up a thing and he's like, "Holy rusted metal Batman," and he's like, "What?" He's like, "The metal, it's holy and rusted." It's like, thank you. The only thing missing really is the Bam Zap Pow cards. But here's the problem with it all.
And a heart.
Well, there's that. Yeah. So
I'm just saying.
Here's the problem.
The 60s series had something there.
Well, the 60s series also had a couple years and it was serialized. Like, this is a 2-hour movie. You can do more in a serial than you can do in a movie.
You can, but I'm still sticking with what I said.
Okay. All right. So here's the problem, though. The movie and Batman himself are never self-aware enough that the tongue-in-cheek delivery work. And I think that's what you're kind of getting to. Because the budget begs a much more grand scale.
Okay.
So because the 60s version was very self-aware and it was a low-budget thing, you don't have this need to tell this thing. So
the doom of Lucas.
Yeah, in a lot of ways.
Handing him too much money and Okay.
So
and nobody's saying no.
Right. Which, this is ironic because there's a Batman credit card in this one. So, just like, wow.
I had, speaking of suppressed memories, I had managed to bury that one. Thank you.
You're welcome. Now,
that movie was just such,
how long was the 20th century?
That's a trick question, right?
No.
100 years.
Yes. And movies got started just a hair before that, right?
Yes.
Okay. This movie is listed as the number 3 worst film of the 20th century. You want to know
Wait,
what? Yeah, yeah.
wait.
Go ahead.
Back up.
Sure.
What are number 2 and number 1?
Okay. Wild Wild West.
Okay, all right. I okay.
And Battlefield
I have
Earth.
Huh?
Battlefield
And what?
Earth.
Okay. I'm gonna point out, I believe all of those are 90s productions, are they not?
Yes, they are.
Speaking of Finn Seagull. Battlefield Earth, I will totally say belongs where it is. I feel like Wild Wild West was, as a matter of fact, a shitty movie,
Yes.
but I don't think it deserves a place that high on the list.
I think it does because the screenwriter for it is either the screenwriter or the director shopped around the idea of a giant walking spider thing to like 3 different types of films. He was going to make a fucking movie that had that thing in it, and he did. Like there is somebody shooting an arrow and painting a target. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes. That's some cinema
really,
lore right there. Yeah.
That I don't know whether that affects my opinion of the film or not, but that's really sad.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so this whose list of the worst films of the 20th? Is this AFI? Who is this?
I don't recall. It was a critic somewhere, but you know,
but Batman and Robin managed to rank number 3.
Yes.
Out of the entire
filmography,
basically the entire history of cinema.
Yes.
Okay, wait. Where was Plan 9 from Outer Space on that list?
Oh, it was probably in the top 10.
Frame of reference.
It was probably in the top 10, but yeah.
Dear God Almighty.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh. I have to believe that Ator the Barbarian was somewhere on, and Hawk the Slayer were both somewhere on that list.
Oh, I have no doubt. Yeah.
Like, especially Hawk the Slayer. Ator was bad, but wow.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised that it beat out Laser Blast, quite honestly, but okay. I don't know if you ever saw Laser Blast. I saw it.
I did.
Oh my God.
I kind of watched it. I saw it on TV some afternoon.
As did I.
It was the edited version.
Yeah. It was
awful. Laser Blast was a pretty crap movie.
Yep.
But it had a somewhat coherent plot that hung together.
Okay, point taken.
Like there was an awful lot about it that was just bad. Like the acting was awful, the dialogue was shit.
Yes.
It's
for those of you who don't know Laser Blast.
Not too bad. Had some not too bad stop motion animation stuff.
For those of you who don't know Laser Blast, which hopefully that's most of you, a dude finds a gun thing in a desert and puts it on his arm, and then it possesses him and turns him into a monster. And he blasts shit with his arm, and then aliens come, and that's it's really all.
They kill him and take the laser away.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, he winds up going onto a rampage in his small middle of the desert town.
Yeah. So,
and there's a romantic subplot where a girl tries to, because he has the gun and there's an amulet.
Yeah.
And like
that's
the amulet, one of the things I remember very clearly is the amulet is like creating some kind of spot on his chest that's like a
it's like a corrosive
corrosive kind of thing. And the girl tries to take it. He's sleeping, and the girl tries to take it off, and he grabs her hand and stops her.
Yes.
And that kind of is the precipitating event for him like going full monster. It's a crummy movie. But the plot actually hangs together. It has a beginning, a middle, and an end.
You're absolutely right. And it's got Roddy McDowall in it. So.
Well, okay. Roddy McDowall did an awful lot of stuff for the paycheck.
Clearly.
Yeah.
I kind of hope that he went for the points on that one.
I don't know what he went for, but money, dear boy, is a trope for a reason.
Yeah. And you notice I didn't spend much time talking...
Waiting for the check to clear.
Yeah. Notice I didn't spend much time talking about characterization or anything really about the internal lives of any of the characters in this Batman movie, because there isn't any.
No, it doesn't exist.
It is A
They're
leads
all
to B.
cardboard cutouts.
There's nothing. Yeah, it is so like. I mean, there's all kinds of cool production shit about Arnold, and like he puts Jack Nicholson's shit to shame in a lot of ways. He got $25 million for it, and he managed to make sure that he only showed up for 25 days of filming. He ended up swallowing battery acid by accident because they were trying to figure out a way to make it glow. There's just all kinds of wacky shit in there, but like,
Oh yeah,
none of it really mattered because this movie was as neon bad as it was. What it really did was it killed the franchise in such a bright and shiny way that it opened the door for the Nolan trilogy to come. And that's where I'm going to leave it.
okay.
So, having done, oh yeah, what were you going to say?
No. Go.
So, having done that, so far, what have you gleaned?
Wow. You know what struck me in just the last second or two, which led to me, saying something a second ago, is we started the cinematic journey with, I mean, the modern, recent cinematic journey with Burton and Keaton. And Burton and Keaton did everything in what we now recognize as the Tim Burton aesthetic, which is the off-kilter, distorted, kind of spooky goth kind of aesthetic, which they did for 2 movies. And then Schumacher took over and took kind of where they had started, and he said, well, okay, we're gonna up the brightness a little bit, or we're gonna up the brightness a lot with Batman Forever. And then they went and they upped the brightness even farther, and in the process of upping the brightness, they completely shot the contrast out the window.
Yeah.
Metaphorically speaking, of course.
Well, I don't think they were going for contrast, though, were they?
Well, no. That's what I'm saying. Is there was no let's up the brightness even farther, and turned it into clown shoes. And I think what's interesting about it is, visually speaking, if you look at all of these movies, the Schumacher movies, like, I only remember a couple of scenes that take place in anything like daylight.
Yeah, you're right.
Everything is in the dark, but it's in the dark and immensely brightly lit.
Yes.
Like the Batcave in Batman Forever is like, it's a cave, but you can tell that, like, no, he's got halogen bulbs in the ceiling. Like, it's brightly lit.
Oh yeah.
Which, is an aesthetic choice that I think is really symbolic of everything else that's involved in the decision making and the choices that got made with these movies. It's like we're gonna take what Burton and Keaton did, which was create this really remarkably complex character with an arc, and we're gonna make things lighter and fluffier. And we're making a conscious choice to do that, and we're going to go back to the 60s series and be campy. And in the process of doing that, we're going to take all of the, as you said, there is no characterization by the time of Batman and Robin. Yeah. We're going to take all the characterization. We're going to take all the character development. We're going to take anything like an internal life and kind of fling that out the window. And it got turned back into a CCA 3-color comic.
Yes, it did.
Silver Age. Yep. Oh, hey, Superman, let me show you what we're going to look like in the future. And this or Superman saying, let me show you what we're going to look like in the future. Yeah. Bruce Wayne, whose parents haven't been murdered yet. By the way, Superman is a dick. And
I would point out that they did this at a time when the comics were going the other direction.
Very, very pronouncedly. Yes.
And so no one wanted this.
No one. Absolutely no one. Schumacher, I'm going to put nipples on the bat suit.
Yeah. So like that, it's so
yeah.
whereas when you started with the '89 Batman, it was a direct offshoot of the '85 comic that had come out. And so tonally it made sense as a continuation. I would also point out though that the arc of the Keaton Batman ended after the second one.
Oh, well, yeah.
And so to continue the franchise in any way without reimagining it is a problem. To continue it so quickly without, to reimagine it so quickly afterwards is a problem. Like at that point, they are just pulling the slot machine now. And the comics at that time were heading wildly they were continuing the tone that Keaton had gone with. So
yeah.
Okay.
So I know you and I discussed this, but I don't remember if it came up in our last episode. Did I talk on being recorded about the fan theory about Batman Forever and Batman and Robin?
We touched on it, yeah.
Okay. So the idea is, because you talk about having to reinvent the franchise.
Mm-hmm.
There is, I actually give more and more weight to this as we talk about it. There's a fan theory that Batman Forever and Batman and Robin are the Batman movies in Gotham.
Right.
That Batman after the second film, Batman has become this legend figure, and so movie makers are making superhero movies about him. And that's the reason that we see the bizarre, Dr. Doonog colors and choices. I'm sticking with that, man.
Yeah, no, I like it. I like it. I just wish we codified it earlier. We can make merch off of this.
Oh yeah, Dr. Doonog. I like it. And so I think there is meaning to be found in assigning that to those iterations of the story.
Yeah, because you're now making it kind of that play within the play motif. You're doing this is not real. This is a hyper unreal version of it. Yeah.
It's like my friends and I from high school, and many of my friends from college, and I insist that they only ever made one Highlander movie.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously they wouldn't go screwing it up by making some kind of sequel where it turns out they're all aliens or something, because that'd just be stupid.
Right.
Which, there's a whole episode or 3 to be gotten out of that. But
I was going to say, yeah, you take Mr. Van Peebles to task.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's kind of my biggest takeaway is just, it is such a jarring change.
Mm-hmm.
That, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. How about you?
Like I said, I think when you had the first 2 end with such a tidy arc, there was nowhere to go. And so instead of waiting a few years and then rebooting it and paying attention to the zeitgeist, they didn't, and it was to their peril.
And it wound up killing the franchise
for actually only 8 years. That's
really?
Yeah. The difference in time between first Keaton Batman and final Schumacher Batman is the same difference in time between final Schumacher Batman and first Nolan Batman.
All right. Well, I know what I'm going to start talking about, my mind being blown by on the next episode. So okay, with that, what do you got going on that you want to talk about? What are you reading? What are you interested in? What do you got? What's happening?
Let's see. As far as what I'm reading, I actually picked up a module for something called The Raven's Call. My daughter has me working on getting our neighbors to play a Dungeons and Dragons game with us. We're going to find some social distancely appropriate way to do that. So I'm reading through that. I'm also rereading some old comics, including one called The Nice Guy, which was a creation of Michael O'Connell and Tim Watts, friend of the show, Tim Watts. who did our V for
Okay.
Vendetta episodes. And I'm reading something called The Heart, what's it called? Rat Queens. And it's a D&D comic graphic novel.
Yeah, kind of.
Kind of just fingers in several pies. What about you? What are you reading?
Phrasing. I'm of late, I've been doing an awful lot of reading of student work, which any teachers in our audience will immediately be sympathetic to.
Yes.
But I also have been rereading The Fellowship of the Ring.
Oh.
Because I'm reading that aloud at intervals to my remedial reading class.
Nice.
To help them with listening to read material as part of helping them with their fluency. And what is interesting about that is rereading it after a number of years away.
Mm-hmm.
The amount of kind of self-referential humor in Tolkien's writing about Bag End and about Hobbiton is really, I'm getting an awful lot of enjoyment out of it. Now that I'm a middle-aged dude, married with a kid, there is a lot of domestic kind of humor that I'm finding in the opening of the book. And that's kind of nice.
Okay.
So that's what I've got going on right now.
Well, so where can people? Go on.
You beat me to it.
Yeah,
you take the right of way.
Where can people find you on the social medias?
If they are looking for me on the social medias, you can find me on Twitter at Blaylock. You can find me on TikTok at the same address. You can find me on Instagram as Mr. Blaylock. And if you want to try to find both of us to yell at us collectively about something we've gotten wrong, whether a fact or just an opinion that no, we're wrong on, you can find us at Geek History Time on the Twitter. And now if they want to find you other than in these streets, sir, where can they find you?
Well, actually, we're in the purple, so you can't find me in these streets.
Damn you. having a cunning answer available like that.
Yeah, sorry.
All right.
No, you can find me at Duh Harmony on the Twinsta. So you can find me there. You can also go find this podcast on Stitcher, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts. Rate, subscribe, review. We would love it if you gave us a 5-star because we earned it. We are currently at 656 listeners internationally, from India to England, and all points in between, and that's pretty cool. But we'd like to get to 1,000. So
we're hitting the Commonwealth pretty hard.
Yeah, or the former colonies at least. But also in Italy,
Still
actually.
Commonwealth.
Okay, well, I don't think
Anyway.
I don't think people of India would agree. But
yeah, okay, well,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
You're right.
But
Never mind.
yes,
My bad.
from India
Sorry.
to Italy. How about that?
Okay.
Yeah, and all points in between, and north and south of that. So that's pretty cool. You definitely should rate, subscribe, and review, and give us that 5-star. So
Yes, please.
yeah. Also, I'm on twitch.tv/Capital Puns every Tuesday night at 8:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Come check us out. So for Geek History of Time, I'm Damian Harmony.
And I'm Ed Blaylock, and tune in with us same bat time, same bat channel.
My God, are we really going to do more episodes of this shit?